1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 lots that have not been developed.
Lot
sizes are much bigger, that's why.
Right, they range from 1.5 acres up.
Right, so there still are 8 that still might be developed.
That could possibly tie in.
So it's never the intent to have a municipal water supply to the hills. They're staying just as they are. It's just fire protection.
Well, that's an administrative aspect that's going to have to get worked out. If you want domestic water here, then either one of 2 things are going to happen. Either they're going to form their own water district, or you're going to extend the Arcadia district. But there's a pipeline that's going to run through there that could deliver domestic water for them if they wanted it. But right now, they're not in a water district.
This is in the water.
Right.
It's all in the water, but...
But the hills is not in that district, right? Okay. The second question is the little I know about water supply is it's always a great idea to have it looped. So in this particular situation here, you don't have either one of them looped, right? So it'll be coming down, pressurized, and stagnating, right, on both ends?
No.
No?
You pump it from the wells up to the high point.
Okay. Basically, in reality, they are dead-ended, but we're valving them for interconnection. Because there was always a question of whether these 2 systems wanted to be mixed. Ideally, I'd like to leave them all open because hydraulically we're going to design the same thing and they'd be a complete loop. But we designed it such that, and we've actually oversized the pipe somewhat, that the interconnection would be here, which would interconnect the 2 towers here, and we're leaving a valve in there. If they want them as a separate system, we'll shut the valve. Okay, and the same thing down here, we have an interconnection here. It can either work as a completely looped system, or we can shut these 2 valves and they'll be independent.
Just the backup.
Yeah, just as a backup.
Right. So Mary Jane is in the hills now, and we charge that line, and she comes to whatever and says, I want to hook up to municipal water. My well's no longer functioning or whatever it is. Any one of those individuals would be able to do that if we created a water district, which is not your problem, I understand. But I mean, I'm just trying to get an idea of in my mind. Now going on to Lone Oak, right?
Yeah.
How did the well? Maybe this is a Kenny question, but how did that well hold up when you had your drought there? That well that you used.
It was very good. I remember that.
And what has it been tested for? Well, like how many gallons a minute is it?
Well, I don't have that.
We're into our 3rd roller test.
Yeah, we had done we'd done an initial test, then we did a drought test, and now we're back. I believe we're planning on doing a third test.
So you're still going through water protocol?
Yeah, because the protocol changed since then.
Demands have changed.
Yeah.
And you're meeting the new water protocols that we just passed a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, but we've already tested twice, once in a drought condition, once in a normal year condition. The wells all worked well. I think when they borrowed this well, that thing pretty much pumped and kept Arcadia alive.
We kept them alive.
Yeah, we kept them alive during the really bad drought season.
Right. And then there's going on those other 2 wells that are higher up on the chart there.
Yes.
Is there one like you're going to use primarily, possibly the lowest one, and then the other 2?
This one is our best yielder, and then these 2. And then we also have a 4th one here. That's an alternate connection.
And when this is all finalized, all 4 of them will be hooked up into the system?
Right now, we're only proposing the 3, because this is a minimal yielder. I think that was only like a 12-gallon a minute well or something like that, so it wasn't even really worth the hookup.
Yeah. So I think, what I'm thinking along the lines is to just have the availability to help everybody out there if they need it.
Yeah, well, that's why we've done this interconnection. And if it's deemed to work, we can just open the valves and the systems will work together.
The wells that...
See, that was always somebody's stealing our water, now so we designed it such that they can either work together or it can stay
Well,
separate.
in all fairness, I mean, you just have to understand that those people live in a subdivision. And when someone's going to come and put something in your backyard, you say, okay, well, where's the benefit to me? If they don't understand the benefit, because we're putting this in your backyard, so the people across the road will live better or it'll be better. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but let's not, just overlook the fact that these people now live there. They know what this subdivision is. Now someone's going to put another tank. There's going to be more maintenance. There are going to be more people because there's more. So the benefits, as Doug said, you have to prove that, okay, but by having that, you'll have the alternative. You'll always have water if there's an emergency, you're in a fire district, but you have to understand that they have concerns. You just can't overlook them.
And some of their political concerns, which I didn't want to voice before.
But then that's not political. That's
Well, but it would be
where they
political
live.
in the sense that they were fearful of being forced into.
A water district.
Exactly.
I understand.
And all the attendant problems.
Yeah.
Well, I think we
there are
have
concerns.
to overcome that
Yeah.
based on the advantage.
Yeah.
Just 2 weeks ago, we had a significant water leak. We ran that tank dry. We had to truck water in at great expense. We're also going to have to take that tank out of service and clean it,
Sure.
coat it. So there are reasons that we'll have to share with the public out there.
Yeah.
Okay, Ken, what's your question? Or are you done, George?
I just, one last question. Where are the Arcadia Hills wells now?
There's six wells. Yeah.
They're not marked on the chart at all?
Well, there's one here. I believe there's another, I think we had them all. Yeah.
in the wetlands.
Yeah.
And then one over in the wetlands.
Yeah, up in here, when you run down the river. One down there. That's what-
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Ken?
I just have one question. Steve, you were involved in it. When the Hills of Goshen was approved, there was a well out there that would produce large quantities of water, which was given to the town of Goshen with a proposal of tapping into the existing tank. No, we didn't do that because the expense was so large. Can you show me where that would be on there?
Yeah, I don't know, I don't remember recalling that being a real producing well. I thought it was.
It was said it was a large producing well. We found out.
I'm thinking like 10 gallons a minute, in my recollection. There was, I think it's back in here, Kenny,
Okay.
and I do believe that actually there's if you look, no, it's actually over here, so. This is that open space piece?
Yeah.
That's like the hills right here. It's probably on this, right where the D is, somewhere over there. And I do believe that that's actually connected physically with
I think to a point that they said like $80,000. I'm just
It's coiled up.
trying to look into, if you're thinking that you got a big transfer, I hate best.
But I actually think there's a coil of copper tubing there that is.
Well, no, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I think it
That's
was
nothing to
connected.
your project.
And it was, my recollection is like 10 gallons a minute. That's, 14,000 gallons a day. It's not, that is.
Oh, well, it's probably a large
If we can-
well, but obviously that's not,
If we can find what that capacity, that well is currently, maybe this is something we can work out. You might want to, if you're going to dig the ditch, we'll put it in or something like that, maybe as part of. Okay.
Yeah, but that's what,
Good.
I just want to know
See if I can bring this conclusion in. I think conceptually we make sense. I think I'd let Mr. Klopshin here on the 11th and Dennis Lindsay kind of go through it. And we'll learn more about it, and based on what I see, it makes sense.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good, thank you for coming.
Did you?
I had a question about the
Oh, sure.
sewer end of the project.
Yeah. Me too.
Is there any availability of sewer as an alternative to this site? We've presented it before, we've asked, but we've never gotten a response.
You talking about the village sewer?
Well, through the town's sewer district for this property.
Oh, I don't know the answer to that question. Right now, we're negotiating with the village, as you know, on trying to bring a lot of the subdivisions into their sewer plant. If that fails, it's our assessment, we're gonna have to build a regional sewer. And so that's about as much as I know.
Let me put this on your plate. This like the water district.
Right.
They're the same boundaries. They're all in the same district, a water district and a sewer district together.
Right.
And the section of the Feeney property is, of course, undeveloped. There is the possibility, in thought anyway,
Right.
that
Hoping
their
that-
property drop out of the sewer district and go directly to the village. Wouldn't affect the town at all. I put that on your plate to think about.
Okay.
directly to the sewer without us creating a sewer district?
No, you're in a sewer, you'd have to diminish the size of the sewer district.
Allow them to go to the village.
Yeah.
Right, would we
Now,
establish a
today-
separate sewer district?
No. We contract directly with the village.
On the transportation?
Yeah, well, there's different ways of doing it.
Well,
Transportation,
no,
corporation.
Versus going into Arcadia Hills.
Yeah, well, the other way is you gotta go through your contract with the village, which is